What up, hey, how y'all doing? This is the Mad MC, Tone from the 757. Back to you spitting nothing but the truth. But today we're just gonna talk to you about the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? As they like to say, man. And I know it's a lot of Cowboys fans out there, but I guess it's a new year. This is y'all year, right? Like I say every year, man. This Cowboys team to me is it's been probably the most talented Cowboys team I think in a while. You got Jeremy Lamb now. You got Amari Cooper locked up now. You got Ezekiel Elliott. The offensive line is not as good as it once was, but it's still a top five offensive line. I think the defense has it beefed up a little bit in the middle. I think they do got some boys up front now. I think they're gonna be a lot better on defense now that they picked up the Saints defensive coordinator. I think he'll bring a new look. I think their defense made no adjustments last year. No defense adjustments, period, last year. In halftime, you've seen no halftime adjustments. I think that was a real big problem last year with the Cowboys. Also, I think Mike McCarthy brings a championship more mentality, a coach that knows what it's like to win a Super Bowl. And I think he's going to bring out the best in Dak Prescott. Even though Dak, to me, still has a lot to prove, I think it was right for the Cowboys not to give him a massive contract or the biggest contract in the history of the sport, knowing that he has not won a Super Bowl. If you're going to be a $40 million quarterback or the highest paid in your sport, you have to win a championship. Winning a championship is the ultimate validation in any sport. I don't know, you can break all the records, you can have all the stats, but if winning a championship to an athlete, to me, is the biggest validation for anything. If you want to go to your owner asking for a contract that's top five or one in the league, you got to have that championship and bring in a championship caliber team, or have at least an MVP. And I think that he has to prove that he's at least an MVP caliber player. Not beat up on like last year they went 2-0, and those were against probably the worst two teams in the NFL. And when it came down to the last game of the season with Carson Wentz, he wasn't throwing to Amari Cooper or Michael Gallup, or had a top five offensive line, or the best running back, who was probably considered the best running back in football, And Carson Wentz, he was just like a dump truck. He said, throw it on me. Just put it on me. You know what I'm saying? Throw whatever you got on me and I'll take the team. And he has proven that he can do that, But I think Dak has a lot to prove to show him that he's that quarterback, And people going to say, well, Carson Wentz has never started a playoff game and he always gets injured. Well, before Carson Wentz got injured, he was going to be the MVP over Tom Brady that year, if anybody remembers. But like I was saying, even though the Cowboys, to me, still has a lot to prove, man. I think they need to really have a better mentality going into a different mentality this season. I think they have no excuses to win a Super Bowl this year. I think Mike McCarthy is a great pickup. He was the right head coach. I don't think there was anybody else who they could have had or brung in that would have probably, especially dealing with Jerry Jones, knowing that he coming in that locker room after games, and after having a little interviews, press conferences. I don't think that a lot of coaches would want to deal with something like that, and I think that would be hard for somebody, especially being a new head coach, having that. But I think Mike McCarthy is the right guy. I think he's going to bring in that West Coast offense. He's really going to get a lot of receivers involved. I expect Zeke to really eat. I remember when Mike McCarthy had Eddie Lacy for those 2 years. He ran over for 1,000 yards before, he was overweight and couldn't play no more. But I do expect big things from Dak. Not from Dak, but Ezekiel Elliott. Hopefully he comes back in with a better mentality, better shape. I know he had COVID-19. I pray for him that he's good and he's strong and he comes back healthy with a better mindset. I know contract dispute kind of slowed him down, even though it really didn't. He still had over 1,000 yards and was top 5 in rushing. So he definitely will have a big year. I would expect. I think Dak is going to come back with a good year. I just think it's for the Cowboys. You got to ask yourself now: it's Super Bowl or bust? I think it's no more talking about it. It's time to be about it. It's been like over 20 years since y'all won a Super Bowl, or even been to a Super Bowl, or even been to at least a NFC Championship game. You know what I mean? I know I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I know a lot of Cowboys fans are hungry for not just winning a playoff game, but actually getting a chance to go to the Super Bowl. You know. And we ask ourselves, why is it so hard to win a Super Bowl? Well, the Cowboys have never really gotten a lot of things right. When Tony Romo, who I believe was a better quarterback and could throw the ball better than Dak, they never had an offensive line surrounding Tony Romo until those last couple of years, where Tony Romo had to be a playmaker. He had to make those plays. He had to extend the plays. And then when you have Dak, you know what I mean, Dak is a good quarterback. He's solid. He can win you a Super Bowl, but you got to have more pieces around him. You know what I mean? He's not a Patrick Mahomes. He's not a Lamar Jackson. Dak Prescott doesn't really do anything special, but he does everything good enough to where you can still win with him. And a lot of teams, they don't have that over the top quarterback. And I think that's why a lot of teams struggle in the NFL, because if you don't have that over the top quarterback, I'm talking about a Patrick Mahomes caliber quarterback, a Deshaun Watson, a Russell Wilson, a Lamar Jackson, you're not going to really get far in the league. You got to have a quarterback that's going to get you over the top. And that's what Dak Prescott is trying to, I think, has to prove. Am I going to be that guy that's going to carry my team over the top and win and take that next big step? And I think he has to prove that. I think he's kind of like what Russell Wilson was kind of facing early on in his career. Is he that over the top quarterback? But once Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl, that added validation for having the biggest contract and being one of the best players in the league, But Dak, I think he's a solid quarterback. I think the Cowboys, they have the weapons. I think on defense, I really like what they did. They had a great draft. Getting Jeremy Lamb at number 17, getting a cornerback out of Alabama on the second round when he was really a first round, projected to be in the first round. I think that was really a really great, smart draft. I think they really had a smart, solid draft. I just think the Cowboys is really just a do or die season for them. You know what I mean? Super Bowl or bust. But just let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know. MC Tone out.